Hey, this is OXDF, and today we're looking at Quilt from the Hacky Easter 2023 CTF. This was a challenge where they give me an image with a grid of 700 QR codes, and I just need to read them and dump out. Each one has one character, so we get a character that gives us, we give it a little paragraph that includes the flag. We'll write a really simple Python script, like less than 20 lines, to carve up this image, loop over them all, and get each character and print the flags. At the end, I'll show a tool called zbarimg that it's kind of like a shortcut here that does all that for us already, and we can take a look at that as well. So should be a good little programming Python experience. So let's go ahead and dive in. All right, so let's take a look at this challenge. A warm sunny day, perfect weather for a picnic, but what's that? The bunnies bring a nice quilt from the living room as a blanket. And we got this quilt.png, and yeah, it's a medium mist challenge. If we jump over here into a terminal, I've got the quilt.png. I can take a look at it here. And it is just a giant mess of QRcodes. In fact, if we count these, I won't make you watch me count them, but there's 25 across and 28 down. That makes for 700 QRcodes here. And I think the smart thing to do is just start by trying to read them. I have a really hard time passing up. My mind right here immediately goes to let's write a Python script. So let's write a Python script. I'm gonna actually at the end come back and show a much easier way to do this, but we'll start with the Python script. So I'm gonna create a here. We'll call it. Let's actually make it easier for tab complete. Bell.py. And let's see. So we're gonna start with our shebang. The Python 3, and we are going to need the pill library, which is what we use for image processing in Python. Let's see. Import, so I can type image. So we're going to use the pill image thing, and we're also going to use a library called pyzbar. So we'll import pyzbar and dot pyzbar as pyzbar. And I've used these libraries a few times in challenges just like this. So IAM is going to equal image.open, and we'll call quilt.png. Open our image. We can do like width, height equals im.size. So that'll return that. In fact, we can start to save here and play with this a little bit. Don't need that. Here. One of the things I love to do is do a Python -i, I would call it solve.py. And what that does is it gives me at the end here, so I have this image object, right? So the -i runs to the end and then gives you a terminal in that state. So we can see width is that, this is in pixels. There's the height, im.size, there's the size. So we know we counted, or I counted before we started, because watching me count is not interesting. We'll call it like across and down is equal to 25 and 28. That's the size of our grid. So then we can calculate like the QR width and QR height equal to width divided by across and HEI divided by that. I don't have to do these on the same line. They feel like they kind of go together, right? So now if we save and run this, we can exit, we can come out of here. We know the QR width is 69 pixels. The height is 69 pixels as well. It might be supposed to be 70, but we'll play with it for now. It'll probably work. So what we want to do is read a QR code. So let's do a QR is equal to im.crop. And we're going to pass in, this is going to take a start, a box basically. So we're going to start at 0, 0, and we're going to go to QR width and QR height. And this starts from the top left. So we're going to start, I think, starts at the top. Yeah, it starts at the top left and goes that way. It might start at the bottom right. That's interesting. Wonder how we can easily test that. Let's see. We'll come back to that, I guess. So we have, or maybe it'll tell us right here. Defining the left, upper, right, and lower. So the left is 0. Yeah, it doesn't totally say. C coordinate system. Interesting thought. I have to play with that. We got our image now. Let's continue for a second. We'll say codes equals, and this is just how pyzbar works. pyzbar, and it takes a QR, and we want to then say symbols equals, and then I always have to look this up. It's pyzbar dot zbar symbol dot QR code. And basically what I'm doing here is I'm saying pyzbar does all sorts of different codes, and so I'm saying these are QR codes, treat them as that. And then we can say print codes, and we'll run this and run it again. And let's see. Oh, imcrop takes a couple, so we're going to pass it in that way. And let's see, pyzbar is not called, oh, because we need pyzbar.decode. All right, I think that's the last. Let's see. Okay, so we got this. This is codes right here, and we can see the data is H, which is actually intriguing because like the flags tend to start with Hacky Easter, HE, but they don't usually start with a capital H, so it's like not quite right. And there's a bunch of stuff about the code. So cool, that's useful. Let's see. Let's see. Let's read some more, right? Now well first I guess let's see if we can get this data. So we don't want codes. We want let's do a thing here. pyzbar tries to pull as many codes out of an image as it can. I'm going to assume each time it's going to pull one, but I want to check that assumption, right? So what I'm going to do is I'm going to put an assert len codes is equal to 1 here. And what this will do is now I run this, and it does the exact same thing. But if now once I start looping, if I ever hit a place where there's multiple codes in one, I'm going to throw an error. And the reason that's useful is because I'm just making this assumption. I want to know if it's wrong. So if this never triggers, then I'll just know, yeah, my assumption was right. But if it does, that's my kind of a tripwire to catch myself. And so once I've done that, I can say code sub 0, because I want to get just there's only one, so I'll get the one. And then I'll get the data object, because that's what's here. And I'm going to decode that like that. And we will run again. In fact, I'm going to stop running with -I because I don't think I need that anymore. And so now we get our H. Sweet. Okay, let's do a loop. So we'll do we're going to start by looping over the rows. So we'll say for y in, let's see. So we're going to want y in range, and we're going to start at 0. We're going to go to the height, and we're going to step by the QR height. And then we'll say for for x in range, we'll start at 0. We're going to go to the width, and we're going to step by the QR width. And then we can come down here and take all of these and tab them in. And so for each of these, we're going to go from x, y to x plus QR width. I'm supposed to have spaces there. I think so. To y plus QR width, QR height, like that. And I think we're actually, that might be all we need right there. I'm going to add, let's see, right now this is going to print out 1 per line. I don't really want that, so I'll add an end equals like that. And then just to not have a nice clean end line at the end, I'll add a print. And let's run that. It's sweet. Okay, so we have a paragraph like, hello, do you love quilts? Well, pretty sure I do. Here it is. This is, no, that's not it. Can you believe? And then right here is the flag. So we solved it. Pretty simple code. It's fun. It's kind of amazing how in like 18 lines of Python here, I've got a nice clean code to break down and read all these QR codes. Even cooler is this thing from zbar tools, I think it is. As I was going to solve this, I remember like I was sitting down to say I'm going to do a video about this one, and I remembered this challenge from Hackfent this last year. With this, you can see it when let me refresh the page again. You can see it here. It's like the QR code is changing, and basically I wrote this Python script to do it, and then at the end, someone pointed out to me this, zbarimg will just pull all of them for you, and it's part of the zbar tools package. So let's give that a try. We'll go big with this. Make this a little bigger. Yeah. zbarimg, and then if I just give it quilt, it runs and it dumps, let's see, 700 barcodes. That's what we expected. Interestingly, it's kind of backwards. Hello, do you love quilts? You can read up. We can fix that real easily by just typing into tat. It's like the opposite of cat. It prints the lines from top to bottom to top. And so now you can see we got that working well. I'm going to add, let's see, I think it's --raw here. And now I'm just getting the characters without that QR boilerplate. And then we can do like tr minus d new line, and that'll just get rid of the new lines. And boom, here we go. And we got our text that way as well. So that's actually the fastest way to solve it, is just use this pyzbar image to just dump this stuff. So yeah, I'm gonna call it there. I just love an excuse to write a tiny little Python code that does fun stuff. So neat challenge. Next time. Bye.